Hey YouTube, and welcome to One Canadian Perspective. It's certainly been a while, and I'm sorry about lack of posts, but with the warmer weather, there's a lot more things to do with the family and everything like that. Wanted to wanted to rant about something though. I had lunch with my mom the other day, and she said something that boomers say that absolutely drive me up the wall. We were talking about some geopolitics and everything like that, and well, actually no, I was mentioning about how at the end of summer we're actually thinking about maybe taking a road trip, and one of the places that we're thinking about is visiting the U.S. And she's like, no, don't go to the U.S. Trump's bad. Trump's bad. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Trump's bad, but maybe you should talk to your political leaders who invest in the U.S. and have their family live in the U.S. In any case, something that she said, it really pissed me off, and I hear it from a lot of boomers, is, oh, I'm so glad I'm old. I absolutely hate it when boomers say that. I'm so glad I'm old. That they don't have to deal with all the bullshit that their legacy has wrought. And I mean, I think it's lazy to blame all boomers, right? And I hate to make these kind of generalizations of a group, but I know within my circle where there are boomers, that's something that I hear a lot, that they're glad that they're old because the world is is falling into shit. And when I think about that, I'm like, well, okay, if it's falling to shit, then get out of the goddamn way. We can use Canada as an example. Trump's bad, sure, I agree 100%. Trump's a jackass, all right, but the problems that we have in Canada predate Trump. I saw an article the other day from 2014 that said that Canada had the richest middle class in the whole world. Can you imagine that now? I mean, Trump is the ultimate excuse for liberal failure, right? And because Trump's bad, scares all. Like if you look at the exit polling, broken down by demographics, boomers overwhelmingly supported the liberals, while the rest of us supported. They wanted change. And I'm not saying that Pierre Poilievre would have been better or the conservatives would have been better, but I'm pretty, I'd be a betting man that they would be better than the liberals. And I mean, so far I think that that's a good bet, because during the last year in power, the liberals haven't really done anything, right? Anyways, going back to the Trump bat, I'm like, oh my, I was arguing a bit with my mom because I like talking about politics, and she's like, why are you always talking about politics? And I told her, I said that because politics affects everybody. Okay? And specifically, I care most about the federal politics because, number one, the feds control monetary policy, they control fiscal policy, they control the majority of the taxes, immigration, and so forth. Yes, Ford and the provinces and the municipalities, they all have share blame, but the bulk of the blame is falls on the liberals' feet because of the goddamn mismanagement over the last 11 years. Yet boomers are like, oh, well, Trump's bad, so we gotta vote for the liberals. It got to the point where I'm talking to my mom, and this is something I've told other liberals, is you hate Trump more than you love Canada. And it's not just that. They hate Trump more than they love their kids or their grandkids, because they keep putting in power the group of people who have made Canada a shithole. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but for a lot of people, Canada sucks. I can admit I'm one of the lucky ones. I've done really well in my life, relatively speaking, and I'm thankful for that. But it's so much harder for the millennials and the Gen Zers coming up now. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't imagine how difficult it is. I mean, I bought my first house, I was making just over $100,000. My wife was making about $30,000 at the time. We bought a townhouse. try to buy a townhouse now with a combined income of $140,000, forget it. This is the and the reason we're in this mess is 100% liberal policy over the last 11 years, right? I hate to just throw it out there like that, but it is the liberals' fault, okay? And this is going on a bit of a rant here, and I always have like liberals now love qualifications. Oh, Carney, he has a PhD. He's an economist. What has Pierre Poilievre ever done? And I'm like, excuse me, sorry, I will not be lectured by a group that put a drama teacher in, a drama teacher from a private school in charge. Okay, you guys fucking voted for Trudeau. All right, you don't get to lecture me about accreditations. I really, really did try to give well, I think it's very clear that I hate the liberals, but I did try to give Carney the benefit of the doubt. I wasn't impressed that he kept a lot of the Trudeau ministers. Again, I think I've complained about this in the past. Anita Anand, Melanie Jolie, Mark Miller, and the guy I hate the most is Sean Fraser. Okay, but there are others too. But he's kept all the idiots who ran Canada into the ground. It'd be one thing if, isn't the Liberal caucus like what 170 something people? You couldn't find anybody else that's any good. You have to get the same goddamn Trudeau ministers, right? I think it was last week. Carney was like, it's very obvious that Canada lost control of immigration, that we're cutting immigrant, blah, 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 cutting immigration, they're lowering numbers, which are still at, before Trudeau, Carney's immigration numbers would be at like insane highs, but, that's another story. But I think the important thing to ask is, whose responsibility? Who lost control of immigration? It was the Liberals. The boomers are they're going to ruin everything before they go. They are going to ruin every goddamn thing to spite Trump, to spite the Americans. And it's like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what a goddamn mess. I worry about my son's future. What is he going to do? I told him that, do not limit yourself to Canada. If there's a better opportunity elsewhere, including the US, that he should go. Okay? Because the economic opportunity in Canada sucks. Kids can't get a job. Our GDP per capita has been falling since 2021. Housing is very expensive, and I look at it and I'm like, I'm a late Gen Xer. Again, I really hate the generational thing, but whatever. I'm a late Gen Xer, and I look at how much harder it is for millennials and Gen Z, and I'm like, man, I feel for them. I don't know what I can do. I really don't know what I can do to make things better. I try to vote for change, okay? And it's very important to say that I am not a conservative. Okay, I did not vote for Ford in the last provincial election. All right, I am not conservative. I will simply take whoever can get the goddamn Liberals out of power. Okay, if Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives are worse, I'll deal with it then. I know the Liberals suck. Okay, so I will take anything. Pierre Poilievre, for all is very abrasive, and I think he's a bit of a jackass, but I think he identified a lot of the problems that affect society, and Canada is really, really, really screwed for the next generation. To all the boomers out there, you're glad you're old? Then get out of the goddamn way and let us try to fix it, because what you are doing right now is you are making things worse. When I talked about politics with boomers, they always give me all these excuses. Oh, well, the economy was hard back then too, and they worked hard for what they got. And I'm like, you know what? I am not discounting hard work. Okay? What I'm saying now is that hard work doesn't pay off to the same degree that it did when they were young. And I don't like, it costs them nothing to say that. And they can't even say it. Right? No, it's all the kids are too, they're too lazy to work. They need the budget. I was like, what are you talking about? My company, we hire kids right out of school, and they are some of the brightest people. They have lots of degrees and lots of certifications and everything like that, and they are wasting their lives here. It is insane. If I were young, I would leave Canada. I don't know where I would go, to be honest, because the whole Western world has gone insane with who that, I guess for a lack of a better word, the woke era, okay? It started with Trudeau was a pure, he was the woke PM, all right, with all his goddamn policies. Yeah, the budget will balance itself. I saw another clip, I think from the 2015 election, where Harper was saying that. And again, I don't like Harper, okay? I didn't like Harper back then when he was prime minister, but at least he knew what he was doing economically. But it was kind of funny because Harper was saying that, Trudeau has made tens of billions of dollars of spending promises, and he has no idea what he's talking about. His small deficits will become huge deficits, and it was prophetic. Okay, the Liberals during the last 11 years, okay, have added $638 billion to the debt. They more than doubled the debt. Okay, and what do we get for it? Canada's shit. I was talking to a friend. Maybe I was thinking maybe it gets to the point where the old shouldn't be allowed to vote, because by that time when you're old, I mean people are genuinely selfish, okay, and I understand that part. But when you're old, you only care about the short term, okay, the next 5-10 years or whatever, and then screw whatever else happens in the future, which is obviously what we're getting, all right. But maybe the old shouldn't vote because they vote for policies that are very short-sighted. That's not fair. But I'm just throwing it out there. I'm so frustrated. I don't know what to do. I mean, the good thing is they're fucking dying off. Okay, they're dying off at, every year that goes by, more and more boomers fucking die. Okay, and hopefully they'll make things better for the rest of us. And I mean, Trudeau's a Gen Xer, and he was a retard. So, millennials, Gen Z, please do better. Please do better. I know that is really, really, really hard for you guys, and I'm sorry. I wish I could do more to help, but we have tyranny of the old, and Trump's bad. They care. It's very clear that they care more about hating Trump than they do about the future of Canada. Anyways, thank you for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next one.